Breaking news just in as Bob Myers is stepping down as president and general manager of the Golden State Warriors. We're going to talk about that coming up on today's Warriors Today. But first, this is why you subscribe to the show. When breaking news happens, regardless of where I am, at home, on the road, here at the Chat Sports Studios, we're going to cover it. So let's get the 56,000 subs. And if you're looking for year-round Warriors coverage, this is your go-to spot. All right, welcome into Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Appreciate all of you for being here with us early on a Tuesday. And this is the news that we've been bracing for the last couple of weeks, that Bob Myers was going to depart this Warriors organization as a guy who's been the architect of this near decade-long dynasty in San Francisco. Adrian Wojnarowski making the news official just moments ago, saying that Golden State's Bob Myers, a two-time Executive of the Year, an architect of 4 NBA championships, is stepping down as the franchise's president and general manager. It's just time. That was the direct quote from Bob Myers. Before we continue to unpack this, what is your one-word reaction to this news? For me, it's loss, because this is a massive loss for the Golden State Warriors. He is the architect of this dynasty. Now, while he did not bring in and draft Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, he was a part of so many moves for Golden State. He drafted Draymond Green. He hired Steve Kerr. He brought in Kevin Durant. He made the trade for Andre Iguodala. On the peripheries of this roster, Bob Myers was able to make the necessary moves to bring in complementary pieces to surround Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, as well as Draymond Green, with the necessary components to allow this team to go on one of the most successful runs in the history of basketball. Very, very few times does an organization embark on a near decade run, given how sensitive and difficult it is in the landscape of professional sports. But the Warriors were able to do that, bringing home 4 championships in 9 years, and Bob Myers was the one who was calling the shots. Very impressive background for him throughout his executive career. He got his law degree from Loyola. He had played college basketball, 14 years as a sports agent. In 2011, he was hired as the assistant general manager by Golden State. In 2012, promoted to general manager, and from that point forward, he made so many smart, intelligent, and savvy moves. He's going to leave the Warriors as a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time NBA Executive of the Year. He also re-signed Klay Thompson on top of all of those moves that he made. And the quote, "It's just time," that tells me Bob Myers is a little bit worn out. He needs a change of scenery, and this is more reporting from Woj that's just coming in. His contract was set to expire in late June, declined ownership's offer on a new deal that would have paid him among the league's top earning executives. He described the decision-making process that led to him leaving the franchise after 12 years as including several factors beyond money. 48 years old, he's unsure of his future professionally, but should he someday decide to return to the team side, he's expected to become one of the most pursued executives in modern North American professional sports history. What's crazy as well, on top of the fact that he is going to be missed big time, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, there are organizations in sports outside of basketball who have shown some interest in bringing in Bob Myers because of how he's been able to run the business side of the Dubs. There are businesses, not even in the sports realm, who have voiced their interest in Bob Myers as well. That goes to show you the amount of respect that he has been able to really garner over the last decade while running this basketball organization and the basketball operations of it. So show Myers some love. Spam Bob down in the comment section right now. This is a big, big loss for Golden State. As for what this means for this team moving forward, Draymond Green even said a couple of weeks ago after the Warriors lost that series to the Los Angeles Lakers that his future was going to be tied potentially to Bob Myers. Here's a direct quote. Bob Myers means the world to me. Working with him has been a complete honor. He's great. He knows the business, and I learned from him. To say that doesn't matter, it's a lie. Of course it matters. But there's a bunch of things to take into account. Yes, that is one of the things that matters, all right? But ultimately, I can't hinge my whole decision on that, but effing right, it does matter. So for Bob Myers here and the Golden State Warriors, he departs, and the Warriors are going to have to fill a void as far as who is going to be the next general manager for this organization. Now, a couple of big talking points to discuss here on top of Bob Myers just solely leaving. It's the future of Draymond Green. Klay Thompson is going into the final year of his contract. Steve Kerr is going into the final year of his contract as well. So from the basketball operations standpoint for this team moving forward, they're still in this championship window. But there are a lot of massive decisions to make coming up in this offseason, in the draft, in free agency, with this coaching staff, with this roster that could determine the future of this team. Is the dynasty over? You'd like to say no, but Steph Curry is 35 years old. And if Draymond Green doesn't come back, Steve Kerr even said, we are not a championship team without Draymond Green. BetUS is our sponsor for today's breaking news video. 125% deposit bonus if you head to chatsports.com/bet and enter the promo code CHAT125. You put in $100, you get $125 back. That's $225 to game with whatever you want to bet on. NBA draft, NBA finals, NFL, Major League Baseball, a bunch of different sports. Use that link in that promo code. As for what the future holds, let's talk about who might replace Bob Myers as well as their roster construction and what that might look like. Shams Charania, Anthony Slater with this, that Myers, the architect of 4 NBA titles over the past 9 years, has received significant interest for lucrative positions with private equity funds and roles within other pro sports leagues. There's a possibility that Myers could work in media after his contract expires in June. He dipped his toes into the podcast world this past year. So that is also the potential future for Bob Myers as well. Is he burnt out with just being with the Dubs and going on these late season runs every single year? Or is he burnt out from basketball in general? Is he going to go the podcasting route? Another business venture. I'm fascinated to see what the future holds for a guy who's very, very bright and intelligent. As for his replacement, the rumors have been that Mike Dunleavy Jr. is next in line for the job. And that name, of course, sounds familiar to a lot of people out there. Mike Dunleavy Jr. represented the Warriors in the general manager meetings in Chicago back a couple of weeks ago, as Shams Charania and Anthony Slater had reported. And this is a guy who was drafted by this organization, played with this team for a little while. His father, of course, Mike Dunleavy Sr., has ties to the team as well. Dunleavy has stood in for Myers and several other day-to-day meetings and capacities during the last year. It's part of the reason Dunleavy is viewed as the natural successor to Myers should he walk away, a possibility, that appears to be increasing in likelihood. So that's the name right now that's at least gaining traction for a Bob Myers replacement. The word has kind of been that the Warriors do want to go with an internal option there to keep that familiarity going. Dunleavy Jr., the son of former NBA Coach of the Year Mike Dunleavy, was originally a Warriors first-round pick in 2002, spent the first 5 seasons of his pro career with the team. After retiring as a player, returned to the Warriors as a pro scout, and then was promoted to assistant GM less than a year later. The 42-year-old then got promoted again to vice president of basketball ops in 2021, and the Warriors went on to win the NBA championship the very next year. So, of course, a lot to unpack with this breaking news here on this Warriors front, but this is something that we've been expecting. This is something that we've been bracing, and that's why we've been talking about it as such. If you have any questions about this search, any questions about Bob Myers leaving, what it might mean for this team, make sure you give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both social media platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to the show, because when breaking news happens, we cover it.